Hi, my name is Joe, and this is my Nintendo Switch. Betty. He might be getting old, but I still love him. Lately, something has been bothering me about him, and you might be part of the problem.
The Nintendo Switch is 6 years old. Wada wada wada, and a bunch of more information that we already know.
But if you don't, go watch my video about the Nintendo Switch turning 5 years old. I used to look so much younger.
There are actually quite a few problems with the Nintendo Switch, such as the Joy-Cons, the lack of themes, the fact that Nintendo Switch Online sucks, the fact that game prices in my country has just about doubled since the release of Pokemon Let's Go, the lack of built-in voice chat with friends in most online games, the Joy-Cons again, the fact that they use cloud gaming services for some bigger games, or when they're lazy, the fact that the device is not strong enough to withstand a steamroller, the fact that all current revisions of a console still only have 32GB of built-in memory, when there are many games that require more than that, and once again, the Joy-Cons. All those things are bad, but the problem I want to focus on today is probably the biggest one of all.
This thing is not as strong as its Xbox and PlayStation competitors. And it's an outrage!
I got my original Nintendo Switch back at the start of 2018, after my oldest brother let me play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on his Switch at a family get-together. I was blown away by the experience, but as soon as I tried to get into the Nintendo Switch community, some of the biggest talking points focused on how underpowered the Switch is compared to other consoles, and that the Nintendo Switch Pro will do away with all these problems, and will put the Nintendo Switch on the same level as its competitors. These topics became so repetitive that I ended up leaving a lot of channels that I used to like, just to have a change of topic. Yes, I understand that the Nintendo Switch is underpowered for a console, even from the start. And to be honest, I have recently started noticing more and more games that suffer from performance issues on the device. And no, I am not referring to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, even though they are some of the worst offenders. I'm actually talking about other games. While playing some games, I'll run into a lot of crashes or frame rate drops when, you know what, let's just add Pokemon Scarlet and Violet back to the list of offenders.
I hope you're happy now.
I'll run into a lot of crashes or frame rate drops when things get a bit more intense. Even prolonged playing sessions with some games will turn the frame rate into a slideshow and require me to quit and open the game again just to solve the issue. Such an inconvenience. In terms of game quality, we've pretty much hit the peak of what's possible on the Nintendo Switch, and it would be difficult to wow us with something bigger and better than what we've already gotten, without making the console explode.
Oh no, no!
The Nintendo Switch was released more than 3 years after its biggest competitors, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Ouya. Yet somehow, it can't hold up against the first two. Due to this, Switch gamers have always had to take a backseat when it comes to big third-party releases, usually in the form of it being delayed and being a significantly downgraded version compared to its counterparts. It goes without saying that if you want a better looking and performing version of a third-party game, it's best to look elsewhere. But there's something that makes the Nintendo Switch different compared to most of its competitors. Something that makes the fact that your gaming experience takes a knock worth all of it.
It's a handheld console? Amazing!
The Nintendo Switch has the ability to dock and become a console you can play on your television, but it is essentially still a handheld console. Docking the Switch does boost its performance and resolution, but the console is still just a handheld with boosted performance.
You get where I'm going with this, right? It's a handheld console.
It feels like there are a lot of people that forget this fact when looking at the Switch's performance. I mean, there's even a version of the Switch that is dedicated to playing handheld mode and can't even dock. Yet, they expect it to play games on par with the PlayStation 4.
I know I'm not a certified expert, but there's clearly a difference between this and this. This one is a darker black.
How do people expect technology this size to fit into hardware this size and not end up paying a kidney for it? This is why the rumor surrounding the Nintendo Switch Pro has been the bane of my existence. People want the Nintendo Switch to be a powerhouse that can compete against much larger and stronger hardware when it is simply not possible. If it could be done with so much ease, we would be getting a PlayStation 4 mini console as big as a brick. Some people even encourage the idea of a version that is more expensive, catering to the rich, while leaving the poor peasants who can't afford to upgrade behind with their older, weaker hardware that wouldn't have new games optimized for it.
That's despicable.
I know that there might have been ground to some of the Switch Pro rumors, and a version of the Switch that had to be cancelled due to chip shortages. But constantly talking down a console, just due to rumors, hurts that platform's reputation and chances to innovate with what is already available. It hurts the idea that with enough work, a title as big as No Man's Sky can run natively on the device, as the narrative shifts from it being one of the most innovative handheld consoles to it being just weak hardware. We might have hit the peak of gaming on the console, so give me more of those experiences, because they were awesome. I want Super Mario Odyssey 2, but this time with Luigi as a hat. I want another Donkey Kong Country, with a soundtrack that can carry me away to distant lands. I want more Legend of Zelda ports, especially for the Wind Waker and maybe even remasters of a Phantom Hourglass and Spirit tracks, with better controls. I want more of the already available amazing experiences on the console. And
I really want a new Metroid Prime 4 logo reveal. Please?
the older titles on the Switch are awesome, not due to their graphic capabilities, but due to them being fun. People loved Super Mario Odyssey when it released back in 2017, and it still holds up today. Why not give us more of that, but different? Some of the most impressive titles on consoles usually released later in the console's life, as the developers start to understand the limitations better. Why not accept your limits and make something that can use those limits in the best way possible? I know that big strides have been made since the release of the Nintendo Switch, and its limitations show more and more each day as televisions and display quality keeps improving. There has also been big improvements in the handheld gaming market in recent years, with devices such as the Steam Deck and others. But have you seen how thick they are? I can't fit those into my pocket. Jeez, I can hardly fit the Nintendo Switch as it is. It might sound that I don't want games to progress, but if you have something good, then give people the best version of that until such a time when a better Nintendo console gets released. I look forward to such a time when new Nintendo hardware gets announced, and I look forward to the leap it can bring in gaming.
But for now, I'm still excited to see what new experiences will come to Betty. As soon as I get past this f***ing tree.